Willie D Live.
It's Willie D, y'all, back with another episode of information and instructions to help you navigate through this wild, crazy, beautiful world. In the studio, Perrion Roberts.
How you doing? How you
I'm
doing?
Splendid.
How you doing?
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. It's an honor. You once ruled the game with fearless ambition. Now you're using your voice to tell the truth behind the glamour, the pain, and the consequences of their life. What do you say to people who say you're faking?
Well, what I say to them is I lived the life. And my parents, especially my dad, he always told me, you don't never try to convince a fool against their will. So I don't try to convince nobody what I've done because it speaks for itself. And even in my documentary, if you really pay attention, I didn't do a lot of talking.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone else did. Everyone else told my story, and everyone was interviewed at different times. So there's no way 5 different police officers, I had 5 on my documentary, is not gonna lie. They're not gonna come on there and lie.
Yeah, I think I was speaking more so towards the rehabilitation part where you're now helping people. Like, that's the old you, and now this is the new you. The old you was quite, terrified.
Right.
But the new you is like you trying to save lives. You're out there trying to warn people, right?
And so, yeah.
And then there are people that want to hold your past against you. That's what I meant. Like,
okay.
What do you say about those people who don't think that you're being authentic, with your
because of who I was in the past.
Exactly.
Well, actually, there's nobody that's really said that I'm faking because everybody is reaching out for some help. Mm-hmm. I have a lot of people that reach out for help because I helped a lot of people, even though when I was in the streets, I helped a lot of people. I helped a lot of people then, but I did more of my activist work is when I was in prison, when I changed a lot of the laws, when I filed the lawsuits for the conditions of the prison. In the midst of that, I was helping people that had been wrongfully convicted and writing their paperwork, getting them back in court and getting them released. Either they got released when they went to court or they would come back and then they would leave the prison. So I helped people then. And so people know that if I go in the courtroom with somebody, I believe them when they tell me that I didn't do this, but they're not hearing me. And I'll go and talk to the DA and let them see a different side and to see it in that person's perspective. And a lot of them have gotten off. Some of them gotten probation or something. I just helped a lady, reached out to me from Tuckweiler in October. She had got brutally raped by an officer. He hit the news. It was all over the United States. It was all over.
Where was this?
Tuckweiler Prison in Alabama.
Where is it? Okay.
Mm-hmm. And she called me. And the reason she knew to call me is because I was allowed to go into Tuckweiler and speak to the women because I've gotten a pardon and I've gotten all my cases expunged. And so when she reached out, she said, I have the evidence to prove it. So she did. She had his semen on the towel and all this kind of stuff. So I contacted one of the guys that's, one of the men that's on my documentary, Rex Reynolds. He's now Alabama State Representative. He was police chief. But I called him and told him, I said, we need to get the evidence out of the prison right now. And so he said, let me make a call. He called the Attorney General. The Attorney General, they in turn contacted the FBI. They called me. They went in that night. They secured the evidence. And within 2 months, less than 2 months, he was arrested and charged with raping her. So this comes September, he go for sentencing. So I help people when they reach out. And really, I don't help everybody that reach out. But the ones that God lay on my heart, that's who I help. And it's weird. I know the difference. They're the ones that's serious and sincere and really didn't do something and need the help, and I help them.
Yeah. So bear with me for a moment here. This is what I'm trying to figure out. Is it true that you had a 30-year run?
Yeah.
A 30-year run in the same state?
Yes.
This is what I'm trying to figure out. Like, how in the hell does a Black person, let alone a Black woman, run a criminal enterprise in the state of Alabama, one of the most racist states in the Union? How do you do that? And for 30 years, like, you had to have the police on your side. For 30 years, you had to have the police, the judges, the lawyers, the city comptroller, the janitors, the school superintendents, the lady who sell cool cups in the neighborhood. You had to have everybody on your team to have a run like that. And so how were you able to be in the game that long?
Well, I did have some police officers helping me, but that was on down the line. But people, I gained their trust. And it was always like, you stick with me, you'll make money. Because I'm about making money. You can feed your family. You know what I'm saying? Because all I had was my word. And so I could break my word. So I had to help. I had to be that stronghold because everybody else that was out there, they was selling drugs, but they was taking, they was doing all this ridiculous stuff. I didn't do that because people that bought from me, I treat them as though I owned Winn-Dixie. At that time we had Winn-Dixie. I always said, I own Winn-Dixie. So you can't come to me and just take from me. So you have to buy from me. But in turn, I'm going to give you some discounts. Oh, Winn-Dixie was known for, the discounts and stuff. So I would do that and help people along the way. Some people I give to, some people you buy. But I help you. I help your kids Christmas time. It's something that I would do for them in return that was major. And that was looking out for their kids.
I get that. Now, Perrion, I know you've been doing a lot of interviews and you show up as a knife, show up as a Ginsu knife. But that was one of those political answers. I need to know. I want to know, man, how did you do that? Because a lot of people help people and looked at and gave discounts. How did Perrion go under the radar? Well, not necessarily go under the radar, because ain't no way you in the game 30 years like that and not be known as that person for 30 years.
I had a couple of little hiccups.
Even if it was 30 months, 30 days, Black Alabama, you Black folks, man, Alabama is one of the, like I said, it's one of the most racist places. It
is.
So,
it is.
So
I
tell me about these judges that was on payroll, these police officers. I need to know.
I had some police officers on my bankroll. But that, like I said, that was on down the line. But when I was bigger in the game, and they would keep me informed when my name came up in their meetings and all of that. So when my name come up, I just disappear.
Yeah, but you also had the prosecutor in your pocket.
The prosecutors didn't like me at the time.
The prosecutors. Oh. So you saying
I didn't get the prosecutor on my side till I beat the murder case. I beat a capital murder case.
Oh, so hold on. See, I didn't know about that part. You beat a capital murder case?
I did.
Who were you accused of murdering?
It was a guy that used to work for me, and
Not Champ.
I shot at Champ, but no, no, it wasn't Champ.
Okay, yeah. So a guy that used to work for you, you was accused of killing him. Were you accused of orchestrating the hit or actually doing it yourself?
See, that was the thing. They accused me of actually doing it myself because I had the reputation, my reputation is what got me to that, for real. And so I wasn't even in town, so it's impossible for me to have done a murder.
Right.
And nor did I didn't put a hit out on him or nothing like that. So when we went to court, that's what they was trying to say, is that I actually shot him. So the judge made the decision. I had a jury and everything, but the judge went to the scene of the crime the second day into the trial. And he came back to court and he said, leave the jury in the deliberating room. He called the counsels to the stand. He asked them, did they have any more witnesses? Did they have any more evidence? And he said, no. He said, well, I went to the scene of the crime last night. And from where you said Miss Roberts was to where it actually happened, because I got gas way down the street. So from where it happened. So he said she couldn't possibly have seen it, much less do it. He said, but I know that at 11 o'clock on a Friday night, that it was somebody that seen it. Over 200 people go up and down this street. And you only have her in my courtroom. He said, and if you don't have any more witnesses or anyone, asked the DA, he said, no, that. So he said, I don't have a choice but to dismiss her case, to acquit her. Case dismissed. And then he said, and she shall not and will not be brought up on any other charges pertaining to this case. So, because he said, don't come back talking about she orchestrated or hired somebody. He said that in the courtroom. He said, this is over.
So the prosecutors must really hate it. You probably had prosecutors running for office just to get you.
He had just got into office or whatever. But actually, he turned out to be one of my allies, one of my closest allies in helping me. Whenever I go to him about somebody else, he looks into it and dismisses their cases or something.
That's currently
an
ally. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, we're going to let him make it then. What about the rest of them?
Well, I had a DA that my brother was going to court under, and I sat with my brother's attorney. He had a jury trial, and I told his lawyer everything to say, and we beat the case. It was a 12-0 jury, and the judge, she saw favor in me. So anytime somebody come into her courtroom, and I was there, she's going to listen, and she would give them probation or dismissal, because I literally won that case. And the DA was mad. And when I finished law school, he came to me, both of them, and asked me, if I would come and work in the DA office. And I said, I think about it or whatever. And then the Attorney General called me twice to come and work in his office. Come and work in the Attorney General of Alabama.
Who pardoned you, the governor or the president?
Governor.
What's his name?
Because I was, at that time, it was, what was it, Fob James, I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So who did you use as character witnesses to influence the judge, the
parole board?
The governor's decision to pardon you?
Nobody. I just went.
You didn't have
myself.
You didn't have any letters, character letters written?
I had character. Yeah. I had character letters. In fact, I had, when I made parole, because they gave me a 21-year sentence. They offered me 99. They gave me a 21-year sentence, and I only did 2 years. And the parole board said that I had more letters from high officials than they had ever seen come through.
Mm-hmm.
So they did that. And then when I went for my pardon, I had just as much. I had commissioners, I had city councilmen, I had a lot of people writing letters. Even my arresting officer wrote a letter. And so, but I went on my own. I didn't hire a lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
I stood before myself.
Yeah. What does freedom look like to you today versus when you were out in the game at the height of your career?
Oh, I cherish it. I cherish my freedom. At that time when I was in the streets, I didn't cherish my freedom. I didn't cherish anything, basically. Because I never lost anyone. So it was like I was just doing what I do. You know what I'm saying? I went to school. I stayed in school. So I would learn how to maneuver in being in business and working my business.
Mm-hmm.
So
When you were in the game, like, what was the greatest loss that you suffered? Because obviously there was a lot of gains, and there was some things that you saw that you experienced that you that made you want to even keep going even harder because you were being rewarded. Like, but what's one of the things that happened, while you were in the game, that where you experienced a loss that really set you back?
when we called him Tony in the film, he killed my best friend. And my best friend, we was like, if he had $1, I had 50 cents, and we hustled together. And we talked about what we was going to do once we got a key, once we did this. We wasn't at the kilo level when he got killed, but we was quarter key or something like that. We was in there. And he killed him over foolishness. And I just promised myself, and I remember the promise that I would keep going. I'm going to get to that level that we always talked about. And I did. I exceeded. I went past that. And but that didn't bring my friend back. But down the line, I ended up dating the one that killed him. And it was a lot of problems.
You ended up dating the guy who killed your best friend?
I did.
Okay. How does that happen?
Well, it started out like this. Because he used to sell a lot of dope. And so I wanted his connection. And so it started out really a hustle to get. And when I found out his connection and all of that, then he was in love with me and I wasn't with him. And so it was just a lot of problems. And I ended up, I hit him in the head with a speaker or something. But I did a lot of stuff to him. He still stayed until I finally just threw him out.
What was the altercation over? Like when he murdered your best friend, what was it about? Like, was it jealousy?
No, he didn't. He said that while he was in prison, he didn't take care of his mother.
So he killed the guy because he didn't take care of the guy who killed him mother, or
his mother, the one that killed him. See what it was. But when he left the streets, he left my friend and several other guys in the project some drugs. And he said, take the money you make and make sure you take care of my mom.
Okay, gotcha.
But one of his friends he had to come along collecting the money every day. They had no money. I'm the one that helped him get on his feet. So because he had got on his feet, he had bought a house, I had bought a house and stuff. So when he came home on a federal pass, he wasn't even supposed to be in Huntsville. It was supposed to be for Montgomery. And he came, got to arguing with him. He said, you didn't take care of my mom. She got put out the project, blah, 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 blah. And so they got into it and tussled over the gun. And when the gun went off, it hit him in the heart upright and killed him. And so he only did a year for that because they said that it could have went both ways of the angle the bullet went in. And he was in
Whose
the
gun
feds.
was it?
The one that shot him, he gave him that gun before he left the streets.
Okay.
So
it was your friend who pulled the gun. Who
he went to grab the gun. They both went at the gun at the
Okay.
same time. It was on the dresser.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what was told to me.
Yeah. So that was
a turning
that
point
was-
for me.
Yeah. And what was it? Did your dad really kill your brother?
No, he shot my brother.
Yeah,
He shot him in the leg.
Oh, he shot him in the leg.
Mm-hmm. But he shot at us. He shot at me and my brother.
He shot at
rifle.
us. God damn.
Hey, my dad shot because he kept jumping on my mom. And so I said, if he jump on her again, I had got a little older and a little taller.
Yeah.
And so I said, if he jump on mom again to this day, I'm jumping on him. My brother, he was probably about 5. He was about 5 or 6. He said, okay, that's what we're going to do. And so anyways, when he jumped on our mom, I jumped on him. And so I was
how
on
old are
his
you?
back. Probably 10, about
Okay.
10 or 11. I jumped on his back and he slung me off and my brother had him by the leg. And so he went for his pocket and we knew what he was going for. So we ran out the front door and we had these huge pine trees. And we went up under the pine trees and stood there because it was dark. He didn't know where we went. He came outside. And so then my mama was screaming and hollering and he left. And we had ran down to the neighbor's house. And the neighbors, they called the police. And when they came, my mom, she didn't press charges or nothing like that. And
So how
he
did he
shot
shoot
it.
your brother? How did he shoot your brother?
Oh, this
in the
was
leg?
another brother. This was the baby boy.
Oh, hell.
This was the baby boy. This is the one. It's 4 of us. And
Okay.
the youngest, the baby boy. Well, my dad had his own construction company. And so he had went to work with my dad. And my dad fired him, made him leave. So he had to leave walking, right? So payday is on Fridays. So my dad was getting ready to pay the workers. So my brother wanted him to pay him before he paid the rest of the workers. And he went for a stick to hit my dad. And so my dad just went in his pocket, got his gun, shot him in the leg. And my uncle, my dad's brother, stopped him from shooting him in the head.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how that happened.
Okay. Lord. So, what was your dad's name? Is he still around?
No, they call him Collarbone.
Collarbone.
Collarbone, like the collarbone.
Collarbone,
Yeah,
yeah.
because he broke a man's collarbone when he was 13.
What was his real name, though?
Curtis. Robert
Curtis.
Curtis Roberts.
Robert Curtis. Damn. That's a character right here. What y'all put on a headstone? He alive's a gangster.
No.
Man.
No, it didn't.
So this guy, did he and your mom ever separate before he died? Or they
Oh,
stayed
yeah, they
together?
had divorced.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had divorced, and he was with another lady. He had this belt. I should have kept the belt. I threw it away, but it had 2 rings on it, like, what is it, like a metal? It was some type of metal, but there was that real bronze or brass back in the day,
Mm-hmm.
double, and that's what he would beat them with. He beat that one lady. He did a lot. He did a lot.
And nobody ever shot him or anything? He never got shot?
He got shot, but not because of that. It was over a poker game. He got shot in the 70s, in the middle of the 70s, probably about 74 or something. He got shot at the club over a poker game.
So what's your dad? Was he like always mean, or did he have a soft spot? At
He wasn't
sometimes
really like me. I don't know. My dad, he just like he just like women. He was just a whore, and so that's what he wanted to do was leave on Friday, come back on Sundays, and nothing be said because that's how his stepdad did, his mom, and so that's how he wanted my mom to be like that
So how did you enter into the drug gang?
through Champ.
Through
I
Champ?
did. I never. My parents didn't allow me to hardly leave out the driveway when I was growing up. I went to Catholic school, and then I went to public schools, and I graduated high school. And I was at college. I was going to Alabama A&M when I met Champ. And he and his cousins, they always was doing stuff. They was really hustling, breaking in, busting the hole in walls, and going in and just taking everything out of the stores. And so I would tell my dad about it because my dad has a construction company. And I would tell him about the jobs. And my dad would go get the jobs and seal them people's hole back up. And
God, oh. Okay. Okay. So after your brothers, Champ and his buddies break into the store, you call your dad come through, seal the hole. And obviously your dad know what the play is by now.
no, he didn't.
So
He didn't know until my dad he died in 2020. I think I told him in 2018 or something. We was going to Birmingham, taking him to the doctor, and I told him then. He never knew.
He didn't ask you how you knew all of that?
I told him I was riding down the street and seen the hole.
So you just riding around seeing holes in the walls and he just pulling up. That's wild. That is absolutely wild. What's your what's your angle when you work with those who need help that are like primarily are you working with people who are in the system, or are your services open to anybody that need them?
Well, it's been open to anyone that's need them. I do more like consulting.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the angle that I go. I go in as a consultant because I decided not to finish my law degree. I didn't want to be a lawyer. After I lost my dad, I changed my mind.
How deep were you into the studies before you quit?
I got 2 years. 2 years left.
Shit, that's the hardest years. The first 2 years, and you got 2 years under your belt, and you quit.
Oh yeah, I graduated. I got my bachelor's in legal studies, and then I got 2 years in pre-law.
All you needed was one more year. Did you ever think about going back?
Well, yeah, because everybody keep on nagging me about it. Like
Yeah.
everybody, like every other week or so, somebody is saying, "Go back to law school. You need to go to law school." Well, I don't know. I'm thinking.
At the height of your career in the drug game, how many bricks you moving? How many are you moving a week?
Oh, we was moving at least 100.
Every week?
Or more. It was really more, but some weeks not as many. When I got the Mexican connection, I was moving a whole lot more. But that's because not just in Huntsville, I was running it throughout Alabama, Birmingham, Montgomery, Mobile. So I had a lot of people that I had orders to fill. So 100 is not a lot. Really, I would run out so fast. It's like I'm constantly re-upping because I couldn't keep it.
Were you constantly worried about your safety?
Mm-mm. I didn't even think about
Did
it.
you didn't think about it? So you felt like you had the hitters in place to protect you. You felt like you was insulated. I'm sure you had hitters around you, right?
No, I think I was a heavy hitter.
No, I'm saying as far as like some guys that would take care of business if you need somebody to.
Oh, I had people I could call.
Yeah.
But I was the whole package.
You didn't. You so. What was your lifestyle like? What kind of car did you drive? What kind of house did you live in?
I had nice houses. I had few apartments and I had a couple of houses.
Did you do
But
the
I had-
mansion? Did you get a mansion or something modest?
No, just modest. We just that'd be over the board. Then they
Yeah.
really come after me.
Yeah.
I'd have been done fed time.
Now, I'm trying to add it
You
up.
can't go all out like that in
Yeah.
Alabama. I never got fed time because I didn't. Only thing that I had was probably really over the top is like cars. I got cars in every city, and I had what I drove a lot was a Porsche, and I had a Porsche, BMW, and a Jaguar. I gave the Jaguar to my dad because I felt like it was old. It was like for older persons, so I gave that car to my dad. So mostly I drove, and I had Camaros. I used to drive them a lot. I had a lot of Camaros. So I had a lot of cars. I had a lot of cars. I used them like houses, trap houses.
Mm-hmm.
So I used them until I got hot. And then I'd get out and leave them. Walk off.
Who betrayed you while you was in the game that you, to this day, have not forgiven?
Tony. The one that shot my friend. That killed my friend.
But Tony, didn't you and Tony get like y'all got married? Did y'all get married?
No.
But y'all entered into a relationship, and so he betrayed you beyond even killing your best friend.
Mm-hmm. I always, police officers, they say, well, he wasn't the one that orchestrated to set you up. But I always believed that he did because he knew the guy. And the guy was from Opelika. I only knew the guy like 6 months. And he knew that the guy had got busted at the bus station with 2 kilos. You didn't tell me. And I had a shipment coming, but it looked like it was something happening. Every time they were supposed to get here, something would happen. They had a flat or something happened. And it just never did get here on time. So I said, okay, I'll just get a little half a key just to have something. Because if I didn't have nothing, it's like I felt some type of way. I had to be moving something. It just became an obsession with me. So I bought a half a key from him, but he set me up that same day, right then. They had helicopters, they had everything. Police was just, I never seen so many police in my entire life. And I was like, for one person.
Shit, look how many they had for Diddy.
Yeah, but then,
They came after Diddy by air,
Yeah.
land, and sea.
well, they didn't come by sea, but I guess if it was by water, they would have.
By what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did. They had a hell. I said, wow, this is like South Central. I said,
Yeah.
weird. But yeah, he set me up right then. But Tony knew that he had got busted. So when he got busted, in turn, for his freedom, he set me up.
Where's Tony now?
Dead.
Yeah. You killed him?
No.
No, I'm just.
No, God had that under control.
Now you seem like
he had cancer.
it's so, but you was aggressive, but you wasn't a killer. You wasn't on that level. Yeah. See, that's why I couldn't really be a drug dealer, cause I'm gonna do everything that come with the life. Like I just. Cause I couldn't do it, cause in my mind, like, if you beat me out of a nickel bag, I got to make an example out of you because they're going to think it's sweet. Everybody else going to
But
start
you don't
thinking
have
it's
to
sweet.
kill them. But you can make an example. But I didn't have. See, that's the whole thing. I never was robbed. I never was beat. I never was shot at. I was never shot, stabbed, nothing.
What kind of business did you maintain while you was in the game?
I had a cleaning service. And then I had a credit repair service in Atlanta, in Marietta on Cumberland Boulevard.
Yeah. So were you spending a lot of time at the cleaners? No.
I cleaned up the city.
Right. Yeah. So that's mainly how you were able to keep it going for so long. You kind of stayed under the radar.
Not filed taxes.
You wasn't showy.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. You wasn't showy except for that BMW and that Porsche. But that ain't too showy, you know what I'm saying? It ain't like you went out and
Well,
got
it
a
was
Rolls Royce.
then because people was riding around in Cutlasses and Pintos and stuff
And in
like
Alabama,
that.
that's
And
different.
in Alabama.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
Because when one of the police officers said, I couldn't have never bought a Porsche. Well, my salary, I said, you want to come work for me?
Yeah.
They used to hate, they hated me. But then they grew to love me. I guess, I don't know. They talk to me, and they always asking about me, and they, if it's anything they can do to help me, yeah, let me see. John over here has a drug case, and he was done wrong, blah, 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 whatever. You can help him. If you help him, you help me. So that's how I do it.
How do you deal with the ghost of your past without allowing your past to define you?
I don't even think about it.
You don't think about it?
Because that was then. I'm no longer in the game. I don't even think about going back to the game. I tried to, I got a brother, I was just telling Jamaica, I got a brother that's in prison now, the baby boy. He's been back and forth in prison since he was 16.
This is the one your daddy shot in the leg.
And I try so hard. I've helped him numerous of times. I helped him out of a life sentence. And the DA ended up giving him a 20 split 4. I asked for a 20 split 5. He gave him a 20 split 4. He do the 4. He gets out. He back in there in 29 days. I said, I can't help you.
Mm-hmm.
I can't help you. So I have to go. I have to save those points and whatever for somebody that appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I just try to help when I can. And I appreciate if people would do the right thing once you get the help. Because second chances don't come around all the time. People just don't get second chances. And people just don't get the chances that I have had. And when you say my past, okay, so I got a pardon. I got a full pardon in Alabama. My record was extensive. I had assaults, I had trafficking, I had that murder case, everything. They still pardoned me. Then I turned around, I got all of them dismissed, and then I got all of them expunged, even the murder case. So I'm the only person in the whole U.S. with expungement for a murder case. And so, that speaks volumes. And it didn't come from me going back to the past or thinking about the past. I had to look forward and keep pressing and trying to step into my destiny that God have designed for me. And so I feel as though it's to help people. So if I had a whole lot of money, I'd probably be broke because I help people. I take it, I help people.
What was the most money that you actually had, you were able to touch at the height of your career in the game? What was the most amount of money you were able to touch? Well, it's over now. They can't do nothing now. They can't do nothing to you now. Statute of limitations is up.
Well, that's true. I guess if you do the math and you multiply the keys and the years. I'm gonna say at one particular time that I started counting the money. I used to keep it at my grandmother's house. I had it there. I think I counted at that time probably about 4 million that I touched. But with it, and then money going in and out,
Mm-hmm.
I probably done made at least 15 or 20 million or more. Because sometimes I break the kilos down into 20s.
What happened to your businesses once you went to jail?
I still have them.
Yeah.
I still have them now.
How is it that they was not able to take them away from you? Because normally they try to act like
They wasn't interested in
this
that.
happened. You know.
They wasn't interested in that. They just wanted me.
Uh,
They just wanted me. They didn't care nothing about that. They didn't seize no bank accounts. They didn't do anything. They took 2 cars. They took the Porsche and they took, what car did they take? Oh, they took the Jag from my dad.
oh hell no! They can't be taking the Jag. They took the Jag. What's your dad to say?
You know, he wasn't trying to get involved. He didn't say anything. You know, I had it and it was in his name. So when people say, I'll put this and that in my parents' name and that, and they can't take it, that's a lie. Yes, they can. They can take it.
Yeah,
If
especially, and that was when, back in what year was that?
that was in 95. 95. Because I went to prison for about I want to say 12 months, 13 months, something like that.
How did the producers of that show, the reality show, come for you? Like, how did what was it called? Queen Pins?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How did they locate you?
Well, to this day, I don't even know who called me. I forgot. Well, somebody called me. A friend of mine called me, asked me had I seen the show, and I said no, I haven't. He said, well, it sounds like you. I watched it, and that's you all day. And I said, well, the title sounds like me. I said, okay, so my cousin that was married to Kiki Wyatt, he was my manager at the time. And so I called him and I told him, I said, I don't know what it's about. I haven't watched it. I said, but the title fits me. And so he knew some people at BET and he made the call. And so when they heard my story, because they weren't even going to do a second season, because the first season was basically like a flop. And so my story is what prompted second season and the rest of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Are you planning to do some type of spinoff of the series? And because I see that happening a lot when people do those reality shows.
Yeah, that's what me and my current manager, Jamaica, we've been talking about turning it into either a docuseries or a movie, just a straight movie. So that's what we're looking to do. Would love to do.
Yeah. When you were in jail, did you have kids?
I got a daughter.
Mm-hmm.
She was given to me. She's not my biological daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Her mother gave her to me when she was 3 months old. And so I raised her. She grown now. We're her own kids.
What type of person is she now? What type of life does she have?
Well, she's a working young lady, and she has 2 kids that she's taking care of. So she's doing good.
Yeah. The series has it exposed you to like has it been a blessing or a curse? More of a curse.
It's been a blessing.
Okay.
It's been a blessing.
Yeah, because you're getting a lot of people reaching out and stuff, wanting to work with you and all of that type of stuff these days, right?
Right.
Yeah. So what were you doing like between in the interim of like being on the show and getting out of prison? What was happening in between of that?
Well, in between, before the show?
Yeah.
So before the show, when I got out of prison, I I entered into a program that the late Commissioner Bob Harrison had started. It was called Focus Program, and it was to help individuals that just got out of prison to get a good job, a job that pays money. And so what he did was went around to some of the bigger companies and got them to hire us. And so I made it through his program, and I ended up, he hired me with Madison County. So I got a job working with Madison County also. And that was to helping the other individuals that was coming out of prison. Then I worked a job. It was National Copper. I worked there for about 4 or 5 years. I worked all the way through until when I got my partner. And then when I got that, I went full force with my cleaning service. I reopened it, so I was doing that. And then I just had so much work, and people just don't want to work half the time. So I end up letting that die down, and what else did I do? I did a lot of stuff. You see, basically, well, working for the county, I was doing that. Then I got involved with the NAACP, so I was doing stuff with going around with them and talking to people. I started talking to people way before this. Commissioner actually had me going around speaking too before he passed away. And then I was in school. Then I graduated pre-law, and I was going to go to law school, but when I lost commissioner, then I ended up taking care of my grandfather. And when he passed away, both of them around about the same time, then I decided, don't think I really want to do the law, you know. And then my dad got sick. And so I ended up being a caretaker for my dad. And my dad died a week before we filmed BET.
Mm.
Then we had the pandemic, so we went through all that.
Is your mom still here?
No, my mom died. That's what really, when my mom died in 97, my grandmother died that October, my mom died that December. And so that broke me. That's when I surfaced, in other words.
Mm.
And I started doing stuff. I was being erratic. I had guns in the car with me. I rode around with. I wanted somebody to say something. I wanted somebody to just try me. And nobody never did. That broke me. That broke me to the core when I lost them. And so then after that, of course, I got busted and I went to prison. And I filed a bunch of lawsuits against the prison while I was there and won all of them.
What did prison teach you that the free world could have never taught you?
It taught me to value my freedom. And because a lot of people was in there for a lot of years. I met a lot of people, and they were never coming home. And I thought about, I did this to me. Nobody did this to me but me. I put myself in this whole situation, so I've got to be the one to get myself out. So it taught me to be more mindful of my surroundings, people that I keep in my company, and things that I do, and places that I go. Because you can get caught up just by being at the wrong place at the wrong time. Mm-hmm. You know, so I'm just more mindful of a lot of things. And prison taught me that my freedom is more important than selling some drugs or making any money. I'd rather be broke. And I had said that when I was there. I said, I'd rather be broke and free than to be locked up and have a lot of money. Because what can you do? There's only so many moon pies or soups you can buy,
Hmm.
and you got the same clothes on, even though you have 3 uniforms, it's still the same clothes every single day. And you go through that same routine every day. It's nothing changed.
Did you have a job in prison?
They wouldn't let me work.
What you mean they wouldn't let you work?
They wouldn't let me work.
You was too valuable. What they
They
they wanted you to work with the
they
inmates?
wanted me to clean the dorm. I'm not doing that. I didn't come here to be a maid, and my judge didn't sentence me to cruel and unusual punishment, because I think that is because they made the mess and they cleaned it up themselves. They didn't want me to pick up cigarette butts. I'm not doing that either.
Oh, hold on. So how did you just tell them I'm not cleaning up, or did you
Yes.
come up with an excuse?
No, I told them I'm not doing it.
And they just respected it.
Or they're not gonna make me do something I don't want to
Well,
do.
they can't make you do it, but they can put you in a hole or something and make your life
And
different.
see, they
They
put
chose
people
not
in
to.
the hole if they cry, beg, and please. Don't put me in the hole. I cry and beg and plead. You can put me in the hole because I don't like being around the people no way.
Yeah.
So put me in the hole is not punishment to me. I'm a loner. I'm used to being by myself.
Mm-hmm.
And then therefore, I don't even have to look at you all.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I started filing them lawsuits, they really left me alone.
Right.
So no, I'm not cleaning no dorm. I'm not picking up cigarette butts. And they wouldn't let me go to school. They said I had too much education, so they would not allow me to sign up for school. So since I can't go to school, then guess what? The judge said that my state job is to finish the lawsuit. So my state job was to go into the law library and continue the lawsuit. That was my state job. Ordered by the judge.
You ever had to box anybody in prison?
I did when I first went, because you know how people tell you these stories about prison? Oh, they're going to do this, they'll rape you, they'll do this. So in my mind, I'm thinking if you just say something to me, that means that you like me. And that is not going to fly with me. So yeah, I got to fight for people asking me for a pencil. Don't ask me for nothing. Don't say nothing to me. And so just a couple of times. And then when I was on work release, one of the inmates that was working at Piccadilly's as well, her little friend, free world guy, was feeding me strawberries. So I'm not going to turn down no free strawberry feeding. And
Hold on. Hey, no wonder you made a movie. No, damn. So one of the inmates that you're in there with, her free world friend, starts feeding you strawberries.
Yes. And I'm not going to turn it down because I like strawberries and I like to be fed.
And you probably just didn't like the friend. I mean, the other girl, the inmate.
I didn't talk to them anyways.
Right.
And anyways, he's a free world. You're locked up just like I am. Yeah, that's not your man.
Hey, now this is important, so I need you to think about how you're going to answer this. This is very important. Was the strawberries good?
Yes.
Okay.
They were good. So we got to fighting over the phone, actually. I was talking to my daughter. She was 2 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, if I put another, I think it was a dime, 15 cents, it was a quarter or something, 20 cents or something. If she put another dime in that phone, I'm going to do this. So I heard her. I said, okay. So as soon as the phone hung up, I said, put it in there to call her. My baby answered the phone. Well, she hangs the phone up. So I took the receiver and I bopped upside the head with the receiver.
As you should.
And then you know how it jerked, it had the little cord. Mm-hmm. And so it jerked out of my arm. And I thought somebody had snatched it. I turned around and hit them. It wasn't. So I grabbed her. I threw her into these pictures that was on the wall at Piccadilly's. And they fell and made a lot of noise. Them old people were screaming. And they took us, came and got us, put us in lockup. And the warden liked me, not like me like a girlfriend or nothing. He liked me. He said it was something about me. And he called my mom, told my
Warden
mom.
was flirting. Just how you said that. He liked me. He said it was something about me.
It was.
The warden was flirting, man.
And-
The
and-
women are so gullible, man. Like, come on, man. The warden was flirting.
And so he allowed me to put on a fashion show. So he let me build a fashion show in prison. And the last one that I done was for his birthday. And I asked him if he would allow the men to come from the men prison over to celebrate his birthday.
Of course he would. It's your request. Perrion.
No, they said I had him by the palms. I said no, whatever.
So he didn't allow the men.
Yeah, he
Of course
allowed
he
it.
did. Exactly.
Yes, he did.
Right.
And that was the very last fashion show before I went home.
Yeah. Now, how does a prison fashion show look like? And where do you get prison? Where do you get the models from? Where do you
the models? What are prisoners?
How do you qualify to be a model?
Oh, you had to look like something. You just couldn't be.
Yeah.
You had to look okay.
Okay, so and so they're modeling. Did y'all like alter the clothes?
No, we had free wear clothes.
Oh,
we had clothes to come in.
Oh,
he allowed us to have some clothes to come in for it.
Interesting. Wow, things I never thought that I'd hear, like a prison fashion show. That's interesting. What happened to that warden? You should have stayed in touch with him. It seemed like a good connect.
He, last I heard, he had developed Alzheimer's, and I think he passed away like a couple of years ago. His name was Patrick Holiday.
Right.
And we did it on St. Patrick's Day because his birthday was on St. Patrick's Day.
Interesting. So you got the series cranking back up. When's
the next one airs? It aired last Thursday.
Okay.
And so every Thursday, new one. Mm-hmm.
So your episode aired last Thursday?
No. Mine's aired in 2021. Mine's the second season.
Okay.
But they got a new season, fourth season.
So you're not coming back they're not bringing you back for a follow-up or anything like that?
No, they haven't called for that.
Okay. That would be interesting. That what they could do is like how sometimes when they have these murder mysteries type shows, they have the pundits and the experts to come through and they'll say things in between the action. Mm-hmm. That'd be dope if they did something like that.
That would be.
Yeah.
That would
be dope. So what's on the books right now? What's on your agenda? Like what do you have going on besides helping people, to through the system?
Well, we're working to get a book wrote, and I've been talking with Julia about helping me with the book to get that out. And I have a luggage line that I have. And
luggage line, okay.
Mm-hmm, I have my own personal luggage line. My luggage is different. It has a cup holder on it in the back of it. It also, you can plug your phone up to it. Has a USB area for your phones. And also it has in the front part where you can put your devices in there without having to go through customs and go through all your luggage. And it has TSA pre-check locks on it. So then therefore TSA has a master key. So they don't have to bust your locks.
Right.
And so then also I have my pies that we're getting ready to introduce called Perrion Heavenly Purple Sweet Potato Pies.
Okay.
And so the potatoes is purple. And so it's purple sweet potato
Purple sweet potato pies. Oh, now, what kind of coloring are you putting in there to get that purple color?
The potatoes is purple.
Oh, wait a minute. Purple potatoes growing where? Where do they grow purple
Japan.
potatoes? Yeah.
Japan. Mm-hmm. But they grow them here too, and they grow them in the United States too. But that's where they originated from. But they're purple.
They grow purple.
They grow purple.
Interesting. Interesting. Well, that's something to think about. Anyway, absolutely thankful for you to come on the show and share your insight. I think the key here is, the reason why I want to talk to you, obviously, it was not to glamorize that life, but it's more of a cautionary tale, because I want them to hear it from the person themselves. When you go through it, it's important for people to hear it from the people that really go through it, that lived it, and especially on the highest level. And here it is right here, a woman who's been there, done that for real. Some of y'all aspiring to get to where she was, and she's saying, you're going down a dead-end road. So it's a lot of times people say experience is the best teacher. I don't believe that. I believe other people's experience is the best teacher. If I see you go around that corner and you come back running, bleeding profusely, you say, don't go around that corner, they're stabbing people. Why would I take my happy ass around that corner?
That's right.
I do not have to go around that corner to know that they stabbing people. Shit, I'm going to take your word for it. So so thank you for coming on the show and offering your insight on your life and your journey.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, Perrion Roberts. All right, no more talk.